Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity. I always say to either make money in the market or to learn from the market, right? But let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, let's get started. So I am so grateful we have internet now. Yes, let's say that, thankful and grateful, and still praying for those that are affected by the hurricane. Okay, so we are now looking at the the VIX, and as of now, we had a pre-market high of, let's see, $21.45, and we had that marked here at $21.45. We got rejected, so this was our 5 o'clock candle here, and it came down to trade in this zone here. So where are the trouble places is what I like to say, right? So as of right now, pre-market support for the VIX is around $21.02. We can, if we drop below this level, we could very well, let's go to the upside, we could bounce here and have trouble back around 21.15. If we break the 21.15 area, 21.29, and again around 21.35, 21.46, and 21.51. Those are going to be trouble places for the VIX to the upside. 21.51. If we break that 21.51 area, we can come back to 21.82. So let's look back to the downside. Now under this 2102 area, we can come back to the 2094, which is not far from 2102. But if we should break that level, 2074, again at 2064, and 2053, which is around 2056, which is where that 20 EMA is. Again, I look at support and resistance on a smaller scale, mostly because it helps me when I'm in the trade to know where my trouble places are. So I look at the VIX normally to get an idea of what's going on with the SPY. So we are now looking at the SPY, and I always say, where are the trouble places, right? I've tried to go to the gathering spot, which is here. As of right now, we had pre-market support around 570.35. We had a little trouble here at 570.65. That's the zone that we're trading in as of now, pre-market, and it's right between that 5. That 5 EMA is right between those two areas, right? So where are the trouble places for the SPY as of right now? If we break back above 570.65, we can have trouble here, let's say, around 571.06, which is really close to the 50 EMA and the 20 EMA. Just know if we break that 571.05, 571.06 area, we could possibly have trouble at 571.20, again at 571.40. That 571.20 and 571.40, in my opinion, is a strong level of resistance for the SPY. It was a strong level of support for us. So if we should break back above that, I would definitely watch these levels of 571. Above 571.40, we could have trouble around 571.59. If we break the 571.59, 571.88. Above 571.88, 572.12, which is right close to where that ATR trailing stop is at 572.17. So I would definitely watch those levels to the upside for the SPY. Now, if we break this ATR of 572.17, we could possibly have trouble again around 572.49 and again at 572.61. So those are areas to the upside that I would watch the SPY. Now, if by chance we break that 572.63, we could possibly have trouble at 572.89, which brings us back to a previous gathering spot. So yes, those are the trouble places to the upside for the SPY. Now to the downside, if by chance we break under 570.35, we could possibly have trouble at 570.02. Under the 570.02, 569.87, 569.73, 569.42. If we break that 569.42, 569.21, 569.03, and at 568.69, those could be support places for us for the SPY. Under 568.69, we could possibly have trouble around 568.46. And again, those are trouble places for the SPY to the upside and to the downside. As you can see, prices come back to this level here of 569.42. So I would definitely watch that level for the SPY. So if you trade the SPY today, y'all, I always say trade carefully in the market. Anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. So we're looking at Tesla. Tesla closed at 250.08. 250.08. It has been trading in this gathering spot. Let me see if I can make that a little bit bigger. We have been trading in this gathering spot here. Pre-market support was around 249.03. Resistance was around 249.65. It looks like we're breaking out of that. Again, we're looking at the 30-minute chart we gathered here, only to break. It looks like it's breaking out of that. So where are the trouble places for Tesla as of right now? If we should break above 250.72, we could have trouble here around 251.07. If we break that 251.07, I always try to go back to 251.33 because the price was here in this area here, 251.33 area. If we should break the 251.33, we could possibly come back and have trouble around 252.15, 252.15. If we break the 252.15, 253.84, 253.84, and again 254.73 or 76. Those are trouble places for Tesla to the upside. Now, if we break this 254.76 area, we could possibly have trouble again at 255.93. Those are places to the upside that we could possibly have, you know, our resistance area for Tesla. Now, to the downside, if by chance we break back under 248.99, we can have trouble around 248.29, and again at 247.97, 247.41, 246.94, 246.55, 246.26. Those are going to be trouble places for Tesla. In my opinion, that's a lot of support for Tesla. So I'm going to set my alert under the 245.98 area, because if we break back under that, that means we broke through several layers of support and we could very well continue declining. So I would watch Tesla under 245.98. If we should break that level, we can come back to 244, and under 244, 243.83. And if we should break that 243.83, 242.66. And Tesla, let's see how much it normally moves now per day. It normally moves about $10.48, and again, that is the ATR, the average true range, and Tesla normally exceeds that. So if you trade Tesla today, I always say y'all trade carefully. Anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. We are now looking at AMD. We closed at 170.90. AMD has been, looks like, moving to the upside. So pre-market high as of now is this 172.02 that's forming. So I need to remember that. Why? Because price could very well come back to that. It is continuing to move, let's say that. So the trouble places to the upside is, you know, it would definitely need to break above 173.10. I would watch above 173.10. Now to the downside, because this candle could very well send us back to the downside. It has not closed yet. So where are the trouble places to the downside? Under 170.33, which is right where this 20 EMA is. That's the support area for us. And as you can see, price came down and bounced here. So if we come back under 170.33 for AMD, just know we can have trouble at around here at 169.40, 169.54, under 169.54, 169.34, which is really close. So that ATR trailing stop here, that's forming, and it looks like we're still moving with AMD. So I would definitely watch under 168.58, 168.01, 167.66, 166.79, and again at 166.44. Those are trouble places for AMD to the downside, which could very well be our support, and it looks like we are continuing to climb. So above that 172.35 where we are now, we could have trouble again around 173.10. So I would definitely remember that 173.10, and if by chance we break the 173.10, we could very well come back up to this 177.60. And again, I know there's some we can have some stop outs here, so I would definitely watch between this 173.10 and 177.60. That's going to be an interesting place for AMD. So if you trade AMD, those are places that I would look out for the upside and to the downside. So let's see, I don't have NVIDIA. Let's add that. Let's look at NVIDIA just to see where we are today. As of now, NVIDIA closed at 124.92, and it looks like we are up here at this very close to the ATR trailing stop. So we definitely need to be careful. But as you can see, that's a zone here. So we've been in this zone here before. So where are the trouble places for NVIDIA as of right now? If by chance we break above this ATR trailing stop and this 124.97 area, we could possibly have trouble here at 125.50. If we break that 125.50 area, we could possibly have trouble at 126.45. If we break the 126.45 for NVIDIA, 127.49, above 127.49, we can come back to 128.36 and 128.55, which was a gathering spot, a previous gathering spot. But as of now, that ATR trailing stop is going to be a trouble place for us. Again, if we should break that, just know that we could possibly have trouble again around that 125.48 area. So where are the trouble places to the downside for NVIDIA? If by chance we come back under 123.81, just know that we can have trouble here at 123.53, again at 123.20, 122.87, 122.64, 122.28, 121.75. If we break the 121.75, 121.45, which is right here at this 200 EMA on the 30-minute chart. So that's something to be mindful of. If you trade NVIDIA today, y'all, I always say trade carefully. Anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. Let's look at Apple today just to see where we are. Apple was trading in this zone. We had pre-market. I always try to go to the 4 o'clock candle, which was here. So we came down here and found support at this 223.32 area, only to bounce up to find some resistance here at 223.84. Now is our support. So we came up again. I always go to the gathering spot. I try to figure out where the price is gathered, and then I mark those levels. So as of now for Apple, 224.31 is a trouble place. You see we moved up here only to come back down under this level of 224.31. So we definitely need to watch that. If we break back to the upside, 224.59, and again here at 224.94, those are going to be trouble places for Apple. If we break the 224.94, just know we can come back to 225.34, and again at 225.40, that's going to be a strong resistance area for Apple as of right now. If we break the 225.34, just know we can come back and retest this 225.91. Above 225.91, we can have trouble around the 226.23 and 226.34. That's going to be an area of resistance for Apple, which is not far from this previous gathering spot here. So I would definitely watch this 226.63 area for Apple. And let's see how much Apple normally moves per day. $4.64. And y'all always say that's in either direction, up or down. So trade carefully today. If you trade Apple, in the market, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. So yeah, let's go back and look at the SPY really quick just to see where we are. It looks like SPY bounced off of this level of support of 569.42. But it looks like it's trying to move back to the upside, but we have a little bit of trouble to the upside. So if you trade the SPY today, y'all, if you trade anything today, I always say trade carefully. So again, I hope these videos are very helpful. Again, I look at support and resistance a little bit different, kind of like on a much smaller scale, just so that I'll know, where my trouble places are. The most important thing with trading is knowing where your support and your resistance is and having the discipline to get out, right? So I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very productive day. If you could, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Why? Because we learn and we grow together. So until next time, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.